After spending several hundred hours in Rainbow Six Siege, it has become clear that there is a single determining factor that will dictate the result of every single match, because in this game, knowledge is power. This may seem like a stupid statement that has been overused thousands of times and by questionable sources.
Knowledge.
But I wholeheartedly believe that a player whose aim is comparable to an obese sheep with Parkinson's will always be able to outplay a 14-year-old Korean kid with a near-lethal dose of Adderall, given that they have a superior knowledge advantage. However, knowledge by itself is such a broad term, so let's break it down further. Consider this situation, where this idiot blindly drops down this hatch and gets gunned the fuck down. At this point they should inform their team that doing so would be the last mistake they ever make. However, it seems as if something was lost in translation, as their teammate does the exact same fucking thing, only a few seconds later. If they wanted to win the round, they would have Kobe'd a drone down to check for enemy locations before most likely being instantly killed anyway. Running outside as an attacker is usually not something that is recommended, as it will display your real-time position to the entire enemy team, which is about the last fucking thing you want in this game. However, if players are able to act fast enough, then attacking players will be dead before they can even comprehend what's happening. Alternatively, you could simply coordinate the whole team to rush the outside, as this entire fucking game seems to revolve around the concept that things will always work if they are stupid enough. In fact, the power of educated stupidity cannot be underestimated. The ability to gather useful intelligence before having the awful idea of rushing the other team anyway is the driving force behind any pro-level match. Knowing where the enemy team is and catching them by surprise is about the easiest way to get kills when the time to kill is lower than the Ubisoft server budget. This cannot be confused for actual stupidity. However, in times like this, you can sleep well with the thought that the mistake was only between you, the people in the lobby, and several 100,000 people on YouTube. Leeshon's Gumine is excellent for gathering intelligence, as although it's absolutely fucking garbage at getting kills, its invisible and spammy properties make it a borderline wall hack in well-planned situations. However, this is offset by the attackers being able to use Jackal. Defending players who get tracked should make an effort to move around as much as possible and to not stand anywhere near any teammates who they don't want to see get the Harvey Weinstein experience. But for whatever fucking reason, there seems to be footprints that Jackal can't scan. Literally unplayable. When your own team is in a 5 against 1 situation, it is wise to all rush the last person at the same time. Your success depends on the other team being wiped out before your own. So always remember that they'll run out of bullets eventually. This kind of strategy can also be applied in most other situations. Rainbow Six Siege is designed to be played in a careful and methodical fashion, so naturally the best way to quickly win a round is to drop your entire team onto the objective in a 5-second window. It won't matter if the other team has prepared for every situation imaginable and has more traps than Thailand, because in the words of Mike Tyson, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Alternatively, if you cannot convince your team to pull off such a glorious game-winning strategy, know that your drone is one of the most overpowered pieces of equipment in the entire game. They are able to check and map out rooms with almost no risk of getting shot in the head and can always give your own team one of the most unfair advantages conceivable if coordinated correctly. You can even use the drone as a distraction if you're fast enough. Simply use that shit to bait enemies to where you want them to be before making them wish that they kept using the hide like a bitch move. However, when drones are not available when breaching into a room, educated guesses will have to be used in their place. This may seem like something that would likely get you killed before even exposing a pixel of yourself to the enemy team, but a general rule of thumb is that defenders for whatever fucking reason love sitting in the corners of rooms. So simply check each and every corner one at a time and prepare to get more kills than a FaZe Clan quickscoping montage. Sometimes you don't necessarily need to have a superior advantage when it comes to knowing the enemy position, but you can instead supplement this by throwing off the other team's expectations of what you're going to do. Aggressive plays can be so unbelievably risky that defending players simply don't prepare for them, and in many cases they don't even know how to counter them. In fact, a majority of defending players are comfortable with using the first 30 seconds of a round to finish setting up their defenses, as it's so unbelievably unlikely that the attacking team has even entered the building yet. But this is when you get to show those degenerate fucks how sorely mistaken they are, and let them know that your strategies are too stupid to possibly be prepared for. Many players may also have the false impression that getting kills is the only way to win a round, but in many cases this cannot be further from the truth. There is always a specific objective that needs to be completed by the attacking team, and like the cooked as fuck rules of Quidditch from Harry Potter, the objective is worth exponentially more than anything else. However, many players seem to forget its importance, and in many cases even neglect what can often be a free win. So feel free to simply play the fucking objective, and let the guy on the enemy team complain that he carried his team with 16 essentially worthless kills. This is the same for a defending team. If the attackers are not able to play the objective, then simply existing will be enough to secure the easiest win of your life. Because sometimes doing nothing can still win against a team that tries everything. Another good way to easily win is to deprive the other team of everything they might know about your location or your strategy. Most players might think that this is achieved through careful droning, silenced weapons, or mute jammers, but there is a far more effective way to rob enemy players of this information. It's called a flashbang, and it's the easiest and most effective way to ensure the enemy team cannot see whatever cheeky shit you're trying to do to them. Just by throwing this shit into a room gives players the most unfair advantage imaginable, because as it turns out, players have a hard time killing shit they can't even see. Going even further from that concept, if it's possible to simply be in a place that the enemy team could not possibly see you, then this is the ultimate way to win a match and ensure that the enemy team could not achieve a positive outcome, even if they tried. Alternatively, incredible luck can always be a suitable substitute for any amount of insane skill. At this stage, I would like to share without a doubt the best way to win a round. Although it takes several months of pre-planning, a subscription to expensive editing software, 10 to 20 hours a week of work, and countless lost hours of sleep. However, if you can build a YouTube channel and convince players to kill themselves, then you deserve a free win. Alternatively, you could always rename yourself in-game and skip all the hard steps. This concludes today's guide on using knowledge to eviscerate your enemies. Subscribe for more videos demonstrating the power of unpredictable stupidity. But until next time, have fun and embrace the bullshit.